And welcome back to Movie Nerds, folks. You know, in a world that's full of chaos, this episode, the current episode of The Last of Us, gives us some type of hope, some type of normalcy in the world of infected. And how did it go? Let's talk about it. Welcome back to Movie Nerds. My name is Tom. I'm here with Dave. Hi, Dave. How you doing?
Good, man. Good to be back.
It's been a while. We were supposed to do our other podcast, but man, the timing just, when you have family, that's just how it is sometimes. And so, but we're gonna have to do one this week for sure with our other podcast. And so,
yeah, let's do it.
What's our other podcast, folks? It's Simple Man's Gospel. It's religion, it's spiritual, and we go into details of our experience in life and the principle of the gospel of Jesus Christ. That's what our other podcast is. And so, but today we are here, and we are here for The Last of Us, episode 6, The Tides That Bind. I think that's the episode of the episode.
Kin.
Oh, was it Ken? I could be wrong. Maybe it was Ken.
I think it's Kin.
Let's look. It doesn't say.
What?
Oh, here it goes. Yeah, it doesn't give us a title yet. That's kind of weird.
No. What?
Do you see
Isn't it listed?
I don't know. We'll find out right now. I'm gonna look at it.
All right, I'll look it up.
Okay. So this episode, oh man, I'm a big fan of the video games, and of course, just so you know right now, folks, if you have not seen this show, or at least this episode, I would recommend you stopping it here, go and watch the episode and come back, because we are going to be doing spoilers. Ye have been warned. And so, yeah. And so if you have not seen this, please don't watch this yet. Go watch the episode and come back, and we can give us your thoughts. It's Kin. Okay. So The Last of Us, which is kind of weird. I saw a bunch of stuff. Okay, anyways, I trust you. So the title of this episode is called Kin, and how ironically it's exactly what it is, because we just left episode 5 with the heart broken. Ellie and Joel are now is different. The way they think, the way they see each other is that one of them could go at any time, and so now it's more I guess more serious now, in a sense. It's like maybe reality hit them, like, oh crap. I mean, both of them depend on each other, and you can tell at the end of this episode. Let me get your right now. So let's set that. So we just left episode 5. What's his name? Henry and Sam died, and now they're on their way. It's 3 months later. The time jump. There's a time jump. And now we're trying to. This episode is trying to go find Joel's brother Tommy, and so
they're in Wyoming at this point.
But yeah, at this point in Wyoming, which is kind of like where the game was. I believe it's Wyoming. It's no longer Kansas City. They left. They left Kansas City, and so in the game they were supposed to be in Pittsburgh. So, but they switched that up. We'll go through. Well, actually, let me get your thoughts on what do you think of episode 6?
It was emotional in that Joel showed emotion.
Yeah,
he showed a wide range of emotions in this episode. So we get, I mean, he's expecting Tommy to be a certain way when he meets him, and he's not.
Tommy's changed,
but so is Joel.
Well,
and he admits to that readily.
Changing. Well, I don't know. I feel like Joel, from what I thought, was Joel was still living in the past, still stuck in that moment, because there's that one. Well, we'll get into it, but yeah, keep going. Sorry.
But he was in that shoe shop trying to repair his boots, and he told Tommy that he's not who he used to be.
Physically, though, not. I don't know about mentally. Do you think he was talking about mentally?
I think the way he treats other people has somewhat changed.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like we get into this community that they come to in Jackson,
And
and
it looks flourished. It
set up.
looks
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. And he is just closed off from people until he gets Tommy alone that second time.
Mm-hmm.
And then he opens up to Tommy. But he doesn't seem like the type of person that wants to be around people in general, probably because he doesn't want to trust anybody. That's what I got from it.
Okay. No, I can see that. I agree with you. I also think that there was the first conversation they had at the bar when he says, just because, what did Tommy say? Tommy said that just because I've moved on
Yeah, yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
mean
Just because
that
life stopped for
you
doesn't mean
it
it
stopped for me.
stopped for me. Yeah.
So what I get that is like he's still living as if Tommy was that person when he was with Tommy.
Yeah, yeah.
So kind of like living in the past. Like he was hoping Tommy would be the Tommy that he knew when he first left from Joel. But you know, I love that line just
Yeah.
because. What was the line again?
Just
You
because life
quoted.
stopped for you
Yeah,
doesn't mean that's
that's
stuff
not
for
for
me.
me. I love that line, and what a powerful line. And I think Joel at that moment realized, like, crap, he's right.
Yeah.
And he gets that anxiety. I thought he was having a heart attack,
Yeah, that's kind of what it looked like. But yeah, and
but
it seemed like an anxiety attack
yeah,
too, because it stopped.
yes. So he's and then yeah. So anything else? Anything you were impressed with? Anything you
So
didn't like about this
Pedro
episode?
Pascal's performance in this episode was awesome.
Yeah.
It evoked emotion in me. Just because that character has been so hard, so shut off.
So
To
close
see
off,
him,
like you said.
yeah, but to see him open up and
Yeah.
to see his change of heart at the end, that that was good. The portrayal of that was really good. And then he just opened up completely to Ellie at the end. So Pedro Pascal's performance was great, but so was who's the actress that plays Ellie? She did a great job too. Like when she's in that bedroom and she's like, she says what she heard.
Oh,
Um,
Bella Ramsey or something
Bella
like that.
Ramsey, is that her
Yeah,
name?
I think
Yeah,
so.
she
I
did a
believe.
great job. She's doing great in this series. I'm trying to think if I have any complaints about this episode. Um, the set design was great. It felt like Wyoming in the winter,
and it
except for
looked,
the wind.
oh, yeah, the wind. But but it was pretty practical. I think they built that
Oh yeah,
town. So
yeah. So if they were making it try to look like a Jackson,
yeah,
Wyoming,
it looked
they
like
did a
it.
pretty good job.
Yeah. I'm with
So
you. I don't have any complaint except for one thing, and it's more of preference.
okay,
Um, but I'll get to it. So we get to episode 6, like you said. They meet these two couple. I love that opening scene, and it's not in the game. Those are
oh
so
really?
no.
Yeah, that
This
was
is,
great.
and I love the fact that they're not. He's not malicious. They're just two old people living
They're
their
just
life,
trying to live their life.
and he's just trying to find. They're just lost. It's like he doesn't know his way around here, so they ask for help. I love the interaction between the husbands. Say, "You gave him soup? Yeah, it was
Yeah,
cold
it's
outside.
cold.
Come on." And they have a girl with them, so she felt sorry. And I think they knew they weren't like a threat. And I think
Yeah,
it seems like they came across those type of people before in the past, and so they kind of they knew that he's not going to do anything. He just wants to find his way, and they understand and they let it go. I love. It's a great transition from 3 months ago from where they were in Cassie to now. And
yeah.
so so I thought it worked well with that. They get to the river of the dead. Is that what they call it? The Death
Oh,
River or
the
something?
river of death.
River of
The
Death.
river of
Yeah.
death.
So they came across this group of cowboys, as you can call them cowboys, and it's where Tommy lives. It's the community that he was part of, that they brought him in, and that he got married to the girl. With now Tom, it's exactly like in the in the
Oh, is
game.
this exactly as it was?
Not
Okay.
pregnant wise. I don't think she was pregnant,
Okay.
the wife, but he was married to a girl. Not an African American girl. It was a white girl in the game. So they changed that, but that doesn't really matter. You can tell when they went into the community that they were uneasy. These aren't these aren't the type of people that they come across. Because remember,
Yeah, they're
they've been
used
going
to
through
bartering
yes,
and killing to get
kill
what
it.
they need to survive. And this is I love how he's like communism. And he's like, no, it's not. And she's like, yeah,
Yes, it is.
it is.
It is.
He stops in his tracks.
I
Oh,
love
I've
that.
become a communist.
Only communists it work only at the time of that kind of time, I believe. But anyway,
I think it's small community like that.
yeah,
Work,
something
probably.
work proper, not the whole country. It doesn't work that way,
Yeah.
folks. Neither does socialism, you piece of crap. Anyways, on to the next one. So they get there, you have they talk, they get to get to eat and stuff like that. Find out that Tommy's married. You can tell that they're brothers, even though the scene, the acting, you can tell they miss each other. You believe that they're brothers.
Yeah,
brothers.
They did a great job portraying that.
So then they go and Tommy, the getting food to eat, getting a hot shower, going to watch a movie. So they're kind of like
it's so funny. Like you talk about that because they're used to something completely different, and Ellie is completely different than that crowd.
Yeah.
So
and I love the fact that they're not trying to change her character. That's just how she is. And so So then they get to to get that scene that you're talking about. The first in the bar, Tommy and Top, but they didn't mention Ellie yet. What's going on? And then you get that scene, and I agree with you, man. That performance with Pedro Pascal and in that scene with Tommy and Joel is incredible, and you believe, and I can see that, and he's telling Tommy like, I'm slow, I'm not as strong as I used to be, and we look back and like he's right, and he mentions certain things that happen in the show that makes you make him like, yeah, you're right. I guess he did get a jump on him.
That, huh?
Yeah, so he's there and he's pleading with him, and then you get the scene where Joe has to talk, and I don't have a problem with this scene. I just have the emotion wasn't there for me.
Okay.
Because the way
when he's talking with Ellie.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I believe it though, and I believe that they care for each other. But let me ask you a question. You've never played the game.
No.
How did you, when that scene came, how did you feel?
I was upset with Joel.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it was because of their performance. I think it was, for me, I was like, this dude just put his wall right back up. I just saw him completely vulnerable. I would love to hear like a therapist psychoanalyze this character and what kind of trauma he's dealing with, because he's obviously holding on. You could see it. He's holding on to his daughter. He can't let go. And Ellie's kind of like this surrogate, right? But yeah, that's some major trauma that he's dealt with and never addressed. And so he puts up this tough wall. Like, no, you're not my daughter. You're right.
So let me ask you a question. And this is where I think the game does it better.
Okay.
What changed his mind?
Right. That there wasn't really a good transition there.
Yeah,
like he puts up this wall and he's like,
okay,
you're right. But then he has a little reminiscent thought, a memory of his daughter. But why does that change his mind? They don't portray that very well.
I think it's more of like he's trying to let her go, and that he cares so much for her that he feels like he can't care for anybody else the way that he cares for his daughter.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think that's the point of the thing. Is like, you have this little girl in front of you who just told you she cared about you, and that she said anybody that I care for, I
don't feel safe with anybody else.
Yeah, and that's the key word. And anybody that I care about either has left me or has died, and that actually straight from the game. And so, at the end of this review, I'll tell you why I think the game is a little bit more. I'll go into detail of the game. So all of a sudden he changes his mind and he goes off. And I love that the little montage of them talking, teaching him how to shoot. So now you get
and she's asking all the questions and he's not dodging them. He's answering the questions. So yeah,
I think you're right. At this point, his wall is down. He's gonna let this girl into his life, and for better or worse, he's stuck with her in that sense. And so he's going to learn to love her and care for her. And you see what happened. They go to the Colorado just exactly like the game. The only different, well, I'll talk about it in a minute. And then so he gets attacked, gets stabbed.
But before that, they foreshadow Salt Lake City.
I know. They saw that. I already knew they're going there.
You knew that.
I knew that. But so we're getting back we're heading to Salt Lake City. but not for another episode or two,
Okay.
because there's something that's going to happen in the game. There's a trailer. You're going to see how she got bit,
Oh,
and also there's another character that's supposed to come into play that's very vile, very violent, and we'll see if they're going to bring him in.
okay.
That Ellie has to deal with, not Joel. Joel, as of
Joel's
right now,
incapacitated.
incapacitated until Ellie deals with this other character that I think they're going to bring her in, but we'll bring him in and we'll see. But then he killed that dude, got stabbed. I don't know why he pulled it out. He should have never pulled it out.
That's what I thought. Like
leave
he
it
went
in
and
there.
grabbed it. I was like, don't pull it out. Don't pull it out. And he did it. He pulled
And
it out.
they got away, and then Joel falls, and then that scene, man, that broke my heart.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know what to do without you. Please,
Yeah.
that broke my. That's a daughter crying for her. Like it's almost like Simba. That was like the Simba, the
Yeah.
Lion King. I was like, oh man.
Oh yeah. That is an emotional scene.
And it leaves you with the cliffhanger. Although
Yep.
I kind of know, so I don't think it's a cliffhanger to me. But to you,
Cliffhanger for those of us that haven't played the game.
yes, I love this episode. I think it gets better and better. And this episode, to me, it gives you hope. It gives
Yeah.
you, even in this chaos full of infected, you can still make a community.
Yep.
You can still make it work if everybody work together. This is the only way that they can defeat the infected if we all come together. But
Mhm.
nothing's gonna be that easy. I love the fact that I think Joel and Elliot got a glimpse of what normal life could be. But
Yeah.
because of this responsibility that she has and that she feels, oh, and I love that scene when she told when she before they got to the community, she told him that she was trying to heal Sam
Oh yeah.
and then do all that stuff, and you get the sense of the relationship. Man, this show's only work is because of them, and that's
Yeah.
why I love
Yeah.
I love when they show the scene of them one on one. Those are great scenes of two people trying to get to know each other and better the relationship. And so anything else you got to say? Anything I thought Tommy was fine. You won't see
Yeah.
you won't see Tommy anymore. That's the end
Oh
of
really? That was it, huh?
at least in the game.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know how they can still mix it up. Maybe he'll bring him back, but
Yeah.
at least in the game, I have not played The Last of Us Part 2 yet. I'm on my way. I'm doing that sometime this week, and
So is this
obviously-
season just part one?
one? Yes, season
Okay.
2 will be for part 2.
Part two.
So,
All right.
yeah.
Okay.
So anything else?
Yeah, I can't think of anything else.
No.
I think we touched on and now that you mentioned that one gripe that you have, it makes sense why you would feel that way.
So,
Yeah.
folks, if you don't want to know what happens in the game, if you haven't played the game, I recommend you stop here too, because I'm going to tell you. I should be warning in all our reviews of what I'm going to do. So in the game, so I had one gripe with that, and it's that one scene, because in the game it actually does it better. So in the game, how does it work? They actually run into Tommy in the game, actually right at the front door of the community.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, right there. Tommy noticed him. Hey, come in. They come in. They talk.
Do they do that same check with the dog in the game?
Nope, they don't do that. That's actually brilliant, by the way. I thought that was
Yeah.
pretty cool. And I thought she was gonna attack, but they're gonna have to address that somehow, because she is infected. Is she infected? She's not infected.
She's immune.
Immune, right? So she's okay, maybe that why. But so in the game, they go, and Tommy did get married, but he didn't have kids yet. And as the game played, he's telling the game to know each other. They get under attack by infected.
Oh, really?
Or something, yeah. Or was it infected? Or anyway, either way, they're getting attacked, and so they go and help, and
the community gets attacked.
Yeah, so they go
Okay.
and Joel helps them, and then they defeat him, and then they have this conversation. Joel and Tommy has a conversation just like in the game or in the show about, he's just here to drop her off. She's cargo, all this and this. And now this is where I think the game had it better. I think at the moment in the game, so this is what happened. So after they're done, they notice Ellie's gone. What's her name comes and says Ellie's gone. She took the horse and she took off by herself.
Oh, really?
And Joel got really worried, and Joe and Tommy went after her. And they found her in an abandoned house. Now in the show, it shows her reading a diary. That
Yeah.
actually did happen in the game, but
Okay.
but it's away from the community. And she's up there, and Joe has that conversation with her at the same time. And at that moment, Joe tell her, you're not my kid, this and this. And the game makes it feel like, okay, his he understand why he did it. In the
Yeah.
game, he was once Ellie took off, he realized in the game, oh man, I care about this girl too much. And I think that's what changed him to be like, okay, even though they had the conversation, he realized I can't. I gotta stay with
Yeah.
this kid. He's, this and this. In the show, it was kind of like, I don't think it was done perfectly. It was good. But I think the emotional part of it is like, I wish they would have had her take off, and then
Yeah.
Joel shows Joel's face, like show his emotion, like, because I thought that's what they were gonna do, because since they had the scene of her reading the diary in her room, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe in the morning they'll come get her, and then they're like, oh, she's gone, and they
I thought
find
she
her.
was not going to be there. I thought he was going to
Yeah,
go to the house and she wasn't going to be
yeah,
there. Even though I
that's
haven't played the game, that's what I was expecting.
me too, because that's what happened in the game, is that she ran off. And I feel like if they would have done that scene the way the game was, like, had that talk with her. And I think chronologically the game could have done it better too. They should have had that talk with her first, like, I'm not your father, you're not my
Mhm.
kid, this and this, and then she runs off. I think the emotional, you can get the emotion out of the character, how much he actually cared for this kid
Yeah.
and how much he wants. So I wish they would have gone that route, because I would have loved it if she wasn't there in the morning and he's freaking out, like, and then he realized,
Then he realized
crap,
he
I
feels
love
for
this.
her. Yeah.
I love this kid. I care for this kid. I'm gonna take her, and then go and find her, and then go with her, and then because
Yeah.
Tommy in the game takes him to the University of Colorado. Then he rides back. Then
Oh,
they kept
really?
going. Yeah, and
Oh.
so that's what happened in the game. In the game, they go up and they search in place and stuff, and they were attacked by a bunch of goons. I want to call them goons,
Okay.
but the way Joel got stabbed, that's he actually didn't get stabbed in the game. He fell off the roof, and a piece of metal
Oof.
he landed on a piece of metal and went through
He
him.
did get impaled
Yeah, so
in the game. Okay.
here you got stabbed by the bat, which is
Yeah.
fine. It's still the
Yeah.
same thing. He later on, and then so that's the difference in the game. So that's the only gripe I have. I wish that part would have been more emotional. Like if
Yeah.
they had that talk, she actually ran away in the morning. Then he realized, I gotta go get this kid. I care about this kid, and I'm gonna take. So I think that would have worked better.
Yeah. And
What do I know?
it would have worked for Ellie's character too.
Yeah.
Seems
Now,
like something like she's like, he's gonna abandon me. I'm not gonna wait around for
yeah,
that.
I'm gonna
So,
go. Because why would you trust Tommy? You don't know Tommy.
right.
She never met Tommy.
Right.
She only had conversation. So I think in her mind she should never trust Tommy, which I agree, because she said, I'll be more scared. I don't. What did she say? She
I'd
said,
just be more afraid.
afraid if I wasn't with
Whoever
you.
else. Yeah.
So see that HBO Max or Last of Us, take notes from us. We as an audience,
we have ideas.
I mean, I just feel like if they would have done that in that sequence, of the scene, I think it would have been more emotional, would have meant more for the character to actually care about. And then after that, they can have that little montage of them talking and
Yeah.
and it would have made even more interesting. And so I thought that's the only thing I wish they would have
I
done
have a question.
differently. Yeah.
So Maria said something to Ellie after she was cutting her hair, and she said, the only people that can betray us are those that we trust. And so I was like, and now Joel's like bearing his soul to Tommy about all of this.
Yeah.
He's the only one that Joel trusts. Is there going to be anything? But from what you're saying, Tommy's not going to betray anyone.
Nope.
Okay.
Tommy, I like the way they portray Tommy in this game. The way that they said and it made it even more powerful when they had that talk at the bar and they said we were murdering people.
Yeah.
They lined. It's almost like it was a confession of their sins, and they're like,
yeah,
you did this, I did this, and
he's like, I don't hold it against you. We did what we had to do to survive. We didn't know how else to do it.
But he said one thing. He said one line that kind of like kind of slap Joel in the face when he says, "But there's more than one way to do it."
Yeah.
Oh, I was like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But maybe circumstances just didn't allow him to have that choice. I don't know. I don't know what the situation were before they got to Boston. It sounds
Yeah.
like they
It's
kill people and
20
they
years that they
yeah.
weren't
So,
shown.
anyways, I love this episode. I just wish they did it the way we talked about it. It would just made it even better. But anyways, folks, next week we'll be back episode 7. Should be cool. We're gonna get to see Ellie how she got her bite, and Riley comes into play. The very
Riley.
important character. Riley is her friend.
Okay.
She was the one.
Girlfriend.
No, a friend.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna do it in the show yet.
Okay.
Did you watch the trailer?
No, I haven't seen the
Okay,
trailer.
well maybe watch the trailer. But anyways,
Okay.
comment down below. Let us know what you think of episode 6. If you like it, if you agree with what we thought. I mean, look, we know emotions. Okay, we're guys. We're pretty emotional people.
We're
So
dads.
we're dads, and so
This is father daughter emotions. We're both
yes.
girl dads.
So take it from us. The way we broke it down, that's how it should have been, and it would have made the show even much better. Anyways, but we're not the showrunner and we're not writers. Leave the comment. Please don't forget to subscribe to Movie Nerdzz and let us know if we've been doing a good job. Until next time, be kind.